Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to Office Hours. Happy Friday. Let me do some camera adjustments here so we can get my full noggin in the camera. See if we can do that. Welcome everybody. Happy Friday. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Office Hours. We will get this show on the road. If you are new to Office Hours is pure Q&A, meaning I don't have any agenda for you other than just to try and be helpful and answer any questions that I can. So I'm going to put in a link. You can join me on camera if you'd like to discuss anything with me. And then also you can just post questions in the comments here, and I will do my best to take them as they come. So welcome. Look at this. Look at 3 Canadians in a row. Awesome. Welcome. Welcome. Fantastic. Let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. I think you can see me okay, but let me know if the microphone is picking up well. I've got my old fancy DJI wireless microphone set up in front of me. Hopefully everything is working well. Look at that. More Canada. Awesome. Love it. Awesome. Okay, cool. Looks like systems are loud and clear. Thank you, Dawson. Welcome, everybody. Cool. I hope you guys have had a good week. It has been a very productive week here and around the halls of services at scale. And there's San Diego. We've got a lot going on, which is awesome. We actually added a couple of new members to our team this last week, which was fantastic. And so we're seeing lots of new productivity and energy, which I'm loving. We also, you can see the sun in the background there. We are at 82 or 84 degrees here in San Diego today. Sunny, gorgeous. Excited about that. And I am heading to Costa Rica on Saturday for a week. I've never been to Costa Rica, so I'm super excited to go. And going to be all over the country, starting in the capital of San Jose and then ending up in the Northwest and flying out of Liberia to come back to the United States. So should get a pretty decent exposure to the country, which I'm really excited about. North Idaho here, not quite Canada. Yeah, exactly. And I will be certainly documenting the trip around Costa Rica. So if you're following me on social media, you'll see it. If you're not following me on social media and you would like to see it, then head over to Instagram or whatever your favorite platform is and find me over there. So while I'm waiting for questions to come in, I will say the overwhelming theme and energy around the halls of my businesses here over the last few weeks is really AI, which, we've all been talking about AI for some time now, and we've all been talking about the promise of AI and the future of AI, I think as if it was still just a little bit away, right? It's kind of this cutesy thing that we can now ask ChatGPT for recipes and things like that. And it's a better, different version maybe of what I would get, from Google, and I can have more interaction with it and things like that. But maybe for most, the experience had not kind of crossed the chasm into being like a truly useful tool that, kind of does work for you. And I can say for sure that leap has been made around here. And it's pretty astonishing. I'm a very techno optimist. I love technology. I love the idea of AI and what it can do for us. And in the last few weeks, it has gone from being something that is just kind of a fun, more like Q&A type of thing to, hey, please help us do this work. and it does the work for us or with us. It feels like a real moment for us at our business. And what I mean by that is all of a sudden, everything that we thought was going to be possible with AI seems like, oh, wow, this is really going to be possible, and it's really going to be fast. You combine that with, if you haven't seen the announcement that Sean, CEO of HighLevel, put out this week, where he shared a preview of their new AI web builder, it's incredible looking, right? It's literally your ability to build a website with that AI builder is literally just put in a 1 sentence, 2 sentence, whatever prompt. And it's going to build you a complete, beautiful, functional website that's integrated with the other high-level capabilities. I think that whatever business you're in, whether it's the agency business, any other business, it doesn't matter. I feel like the moment has arrived. And what I mean by that is you really need to jump into this with both feet, and get your hands around it and mess with the tools and understand how you can utilize them as quickly as possible so that you don't get left behind. And for those of you who are in the agency space, man, what an incredible opportunity. It is. And I'm going to take a minute to explain this, okay? Because this is so stinking important that everybody understands this. I am absolutely religious about this at this point, okay? Big businesses have thousands of employees that all they do is repetitive digital processes, okay? What I mean by that is if you go and you look at any massive company, they have farms of people in cubes that are either just answering phone calls, responding to support questions, or more sophisticated tasks like analyzing spreadsheets and creating reports from those things and turning them into presentations that they then present to the managers, and the managers use that to make decisions. And those jobs are, I mean, I hate to be like, this sounds so negative, and I don't mean it to sound negative. Those jobs are gone. It's just a matter of time. And what that means for big businesses is that they are going to be able to cut costs so dramatically in their organizations that profits are going to soar, and they're going to get this huge, at least temporary lift, in stock valuation and things like that from investors seeing, oh, wow, they can make the business much more profitable. In small businesses, this is not the case. And this is what I work with, is small businesses. And this is what I think most of you are going to work with. And I love working with small businesses. And I'm so excited about their future, because in small businesses, they don't have employees sitting around doing repetitive digital processes, right? That's the problem. Small businesses have never been able to afford people to just sit around and do those processes. That's why they don't have enough people picking up the phones. That's why they don't have enough people creating social content. That's why they don't have enough people responding to leads and following up with those leads over time to convert them into opportunities and manage a real sales pipeline. Those are all the things that small businesses have always struggled with, because they simply don't have the capacity. They don't have what I mean by capacity is they literally just do not have the hours of labor available to them. They cannot afford to hire the people to do those things. So they are capacity constrained. And this is why small businesses that have great products and great services, and we love them, still struggle and go out of business, or just fail to realize their potential is because they never break free from that capacity constraint, right? Those that do become very large businesses, and then the opportunity is different for them with AI, as we just described. For the first time, small businesses are going to have that capacity. They are going to have someone who can answer phones, someone who can make calls, someone who can send emails, someone who can respond to social comments, someone who can follow up with leads, someone who can put together a newsletter and send it out, somebody who can put together social posts and get them out. It just won't be human. It will be the systems and services that you set up for them using AI and using the other capacities of like HighLevel to, get email out the door and coordinate all this stuff and give them a dashboard to see what's going on. It is such a cool opportunity because in the big businesses, everything that you're going to hear about over the next year or 2 or 3 or whatever it is how many jobs are getting cut. You're going to hear about that every day. I promise. It just started yesterday with Block laying off 40% of their company in one shot, right? You're going to hear about this over and over and over again. In small businesses, what you may not hear about as much because they just don't get the visibility that big businesses do is they are actually going to grow and be able to hire new human beings because the roofing company is going to need more roofers when they are answering their phones and scheduling people on a calendar and following up with leads and following up with past customers to get repeat business. When they're finally doing all of that effectively, they're going to need more roofers, right? When the restaurants that are actually picking up their phones and sending out loyalty programs and all that type of stuff on a consistent basis are actually doing that, they're going to need more servers and more chefs and more bartenders because their businesses are not all just digital. Their businesses are actually much more hands-on, right? In the local business space, the moving company, the chiropractor, the whatever it is, they actually are still hands-on. And all of this additional capacity on the digital side is just going to help all of that grow. So we have this incredible opportunity to help them and to help the local economies make it through whatever this next 3 to 5 years is going to bring, because it's going to bring some crazy changes. But you got to jump in and understand how to use this stuff ASAP, okay? Or else you're going to miss that opportunity and your customers are going to miss that opportunity. Like I said, I'm religious about this. Okay, Web Builder, has that launched and go HighLevel? No, Clay, it has not launched yet. It's about to roll out in labs very quickly. I would probably expect like in the next week since they've already announced it and shown it off. Okay. AI use is now being mandated in government and pseudo-government offices, mandated. And they are looking if you are using AI. Yeah, absolutely. And in companies as well. I mean, companies are saying, hey, you need to use AI to triple per employee productivity. And if we don't see you using AI every single day, you're not going to make it here, right? Absolutely. This is going to be everywhere. How can I compete with Housecall Pro? A lot of owners I talk with already have systems. Just change my avatar to businesses of 1 to 5 employees. It's a good question. I'm not super familiar with Housecall Pro, although I generally get it. I mean, in most industries, you have some sort of legacy system that has worked its way in there. In restaurants, you have the legacy point of sale systems. I think how you compete with them is a couple of things. One, just make sure that you understand them very well and understand what features and capabilities they lack. So rather than competing with them, you will be complementary to them. You will say, oh yeah, for Housecall Pro, you're using that for these things and it's great at those things. But what you're missing is these things, and we can provide that, and we can talk to Housecall Pro, or we can help put more people into that Housecall Pro system, right? So you want to look for ways that you're complementary. I think the other thing is, depending on how aggressive you get about a niche, like if you just say, hey, I'm going into this niche, every existing software business is vulnerable. Like if they are not a business that is fully pouncing on AI, like you see HighLevel doing, right? They have so many developers and they're like really pushing AI into everything that they do. Any software business that does not do that is incredibly vulnerable. And so if you're looking at a niche and you see, okay, there's a legacy software platform there, the reality is that you can probably create competitive features to that software platform very quickly, very easily. Now, you will still have to unseat them if you're going to take that approach, and that's going to take time. So I'm not saying that that's a quick fix. Definitely the first step is to just look for ways that you can be complementary rather than competitive. But if you decide that you want to get competitive with them, I think every software business is very vulnerable to competition right now. And the reason why I say that, just in case it's not clear, software development has gone from being something very hard, very expensive, very slow oftentimes, to something that you and I can do. I have no programming background, and yet can pretty much sit down with the AI tools now and start to create software without any programming experience. I'm not saying today I could create something that could, pull one of those legacy systems out and compete one of those head on. But I am saying that that's not far away. And I am saying that I could hire somebody who does understand programming to do that pretty darn quickly and affordably at this point. Just really like how this has changed our approach to business already. Just in the last few weeks, we're developing software around here. We're developing software tools for our own internal use because there has always been these capabilities that we've either wanted and we're just missing, or they were too expensive for us to develop or to buy. And so we've gone without them. But now we don't have to, because we're like, yeah, remember that thing that we've always wanted to do? Yeah, well, look, we can just spin up this little piece of software and it will do it. It feels like magic. Like if you are a creator right now, if you are an entrepreneur who's got all those ideas in your head, it is a really tremendous time to be able to bring those things to life. Okay. Where can we find Go HighLevel's announcement? I will drop it in right here. Put it in the comments right now. I would just share it. Let me just see, actually, how would this go? That's it right there. It's in the comments. Let's see how this would go for me to share it, because it's a video from Sean. And I'm not sure how StreamYard will handle a video inside of my stream here. I just haven't done that I can recall, at least anytime recently. Let me just see what I can do, and we'll see what happens. All right, let me just give this a shot. Even if nothing else, I'm just going to show you some highlights here.
Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Sean coming at you from HighLevel. So this is kind of an odd announcement.
Can you hear him?
Here, but I'm so excited about this. This is a sort of behind the scenes look at a project that we are going to be bringing out to all of you very, very soon. This is a video that I'm about to play. So I'm gonna move myself out of the way here. I'm gonna play this video for you. I will post this original video as well in the comments so that you can get a link to it and all that. But anyhow, without further ado, check this action out. Ah.
So as you can see there, that's pretty stinking exciting. It's going to be just very quick prompts. Some of the things that I think are going to be amazing for all of us to develop sites really, really quickly is that you'll be able to just point it at a site that you think is a perfect site, right? Like, oh, I love this website. Point it at it and say, build me a site just like this, but put my logo, my name, whatever. It's just going to make creating websites so easy. And then you saw how easily it integrated the HighLevel calendar, the HighLevel, you're going to all the features, right? The chat widget, the booking agent, the forms, any of that type of stuff. You're just going to be able to integrate that just by typing in a prompt and saying, integrate these things. So the ease and speed of spinning up a new website from a service delivery perspective, it's going to be so easy, so affordable for you to do that. It just creates so much opportunity. Okay. One of the things that has been proven over and over in economics, and particularly related to technology, is as the cost of things come down, the demand for them grows at a greater and greater rate. So the more this stuff comes down, the more websites people are going to want, right? Because I don't want just one website. I want website for this business. I want website for this business idea that I had. I want a personal branding website. I want all these things that, you just wouldn't do before because it was like, oh, I can't afford another website. It's going to be a pain in the neck to have somebody develop it and update it and all that good stuff. And now you'll just be able to spin those things up so easily and quickly that the demand for all of this is going to go through the roof. So it's just so powerful. I'm thrilled to see that HighLevel is so aggressively working with it because it's necessary and we all benefit from them. Okay. Let's see. Questions that came in. Hey, Frederick, good to see you. To show pricing on the website or not? I get sparking a phone call by hiding it, call for pricing, but think at scale, I'd rather have someone's landing page. Yes, Frederick, I think that your intuition is absolutely correct. It is the approach that I have always taken, is to just put my prices out there. And there's a couple of reasons why. The biggest, most important reason why is that it just speeds up your sales cycle, right? By the time somebody gets to the point of having a conversation with you, they already know your prices. And so there's none of this, I'm going to hide stuff and then build my value and then drop the price bomb on them. That's if you were selling something that was hundreds of thousands of dollars and you needed to really show the case of why this thing is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars before you drop the price on them. Okay, cool. But when you're selling something that's $497 a month, these are such established price points already. 1, 2, they're qualifying price points. If a customer sees a $497 price point and goes, oh, wow, that's impossible, way too expensive, don't spend a minute with them, right? So you are qualifying, you're accelerating. I have never, ever, ever found a downside of publishing my prices other than, my competition knows now what my prices are, which I don't care. I really don't. Like I said, it's never been a problem for me. And I have fought that. I've had this argument, I don't know how many times with so many people. And the reality is it's always worked. So yes. For a free website offer, what would you recommend as a timeline for a website build completion? 30 days like normal CRM build or less? No, I think that 1 to 2 weeks. And that is primarily based on their ability to just get back to you with, rounds of feedback. Because as you saw in that video, you're going to be able to put up a website in minutes. And I'm not saying it's the finished product. There's going to be some editing to do and things like that. But I am saying that you're going to be able to put up a concept and show that concept to the prospects so quickly and say, hey, time for the first round of feedback. Let us know what you like, don't like, and we'll go back and, make some changes and bring the second round for feedback. That's going to be the slowest part of the process, honestly, is getting the feedback from the customer. that's typically the slowest part. So no, I think 2 weeks is easily done if they are participating in that process as they should, in terms of giving you feedback in a timely manner. I think in terms of perceived value, look, the reality is you'll be able to put up a website for them. Like you could be on the phone with them and just be like, look, I just created a new website for you. From a perceived value perspective, I'm not sure how much I like that versus still saying, hey, it's a 2-week process because here's what we do. We incorporate feedback, it feels like it has more substance to it rather than the customer just going, oh, they're just shooting up an AI thing for us, right? So I still think that I would sell it that way. It's going to take us a week to 2 weeks. Here's what we're going to do. Here's the rounds of feedback. Here's how we're getting images, copy, all that type of stuff. It makes it feel like you're really doing something custom for their business, which, you are to a large extent. So I think it's important that the customer perception still, you try and maintain that kind of high touch perception, even though it's still pretty darn fast. And even though they're getting it for free, it just increases the perceived value. Okay. If we can feed in brand info, colors, logo, style, etc., and have to build on brand, it will be awesome. Oh yeah, that won't be an issue. That won't be an issue at all. There goes my Lovable subscription. Well, Lovable's cool for other things too, so who knows? But it is amazing, isn't it? How these AI companies can literally just like one shot, like kill a bunch of startups. Like you see when Nano Banana 2 released, and it was like, oh, they're a bunch of image generation companies just disappeared because they're not going to be able to compete with Google's, free or low price subscription. That's just unbelievably powerful. A few follow-up question. Would you use this to replace the templated free website offer, or maybe use it as an upsell? I think you're asking about the website builder. I think that's what you're asking about. The pitch is still the same. The customer is not so concerned about how you build the website. You're still delivering a website. I mean, that's the promise. Whether you're creating that from templates and having human beings type in the copy, or you're spinning that up using AI, that's not the point. This is just making your service delivery so much easier, more efficient, low cost. But the pitch to the customer is still, we're giving you a free website. Whether or not you say that's from templates or not, I think honestly, that's kind of neither here nor there. Interesting now that Google's including an AI estimating tool, so local businesses, home services can provide an estimate, and it seems they are being ranked higher. Yeah, that is cool. I didn't see pricing on the R6 website template. It seems like it's in a funnel. Yeah, we put it in those. The funnel has those pricing table sections that we've been using, and then I'm sure you're aware, you can just publish the funnel pages onto your website, right? So the reason why it's in the funnel, though, it's got those pricing tables, and then you can easily put the buy buttons. You can put whatever checkout cart if you want somebody to be able to pay via credit card. You can put upsells, downsells, all of that in the funnel, but all of that can start with that page being published on your website, even though it's a funnel page. You just publish it right on your website. Okay. The get an estimate button appears on the, that's cool. I mean, it's smart on Google's part. Anyone ever created sales videos detailing the features and benefits of Go HighLevel available services? I've always wanted to use with prospects. If so, can we white label and reuse for our agency? I mean, I would post that in the HighLevel community. There's all kinds of white label video offers out there. So I think you can absolutely get that very affordably inside the HighLevel community. I would also say at the same time, that's something that you can hop on Fiverr and have somebody make for you. So it's like unique to you for probably $20 or something like that is my guess. So you might want to consider that approach too. That way you've just got your own, specific version. You didn't miss the available date for that? No, they are rolling it out into labs soon, they said. My guess is they're going to roll it out here in the next week or something like that. I think with the way Sean, likes to announce these things, it's usually pretty quickly following. He's going to have it out the door. Dawson, my man, how are you?
Good. How about you?
I'm fantastic. Look at that. You got the stocking cap on. It's nice and cold up there, I take it.
Oh yeah. It's warming up a little bit though.
Hey, sorry about that hockey game. Man.
It's all good. My boy Matthews is playing some good hockey, so can't complain.
I mean, you have to admit, although I know you'd rather come out on the other side of it, you have to admit that was a pretty stinking epic, just kind of Olympic competition and moment and everything. And the kid who gets his teeth knocked out, scores the winning goal. I mean, it was all pretty epic. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one for the books, Mike.
Yeah, it was. Absolutely. What's new? Give us the update.
I went to the Innovation Showcase, which is where my office is at the university. They had entrepreneurs and speakers there, so it was like an expo. And I brought somebody. I could actually I could bring people up to my office and they can check out my products, so I can get like one-to-one firsthand feedback. And this guy has been he has a PhD in art, and he was showing me. I was showing him my process to how I start my day, and he's showing how he does his day. And he gave me some feedback. He said this photo might look good over a couch in the fireplace, and then this other photo I had would look good in a commercial advertisement. So getting that firsthand feedback from somebody who's kind of like been there was a good learning experience for me to learn out. Where do I put my products? Where do I put my service? Who would be my best target market? And just really filtering everything through.
That's awesome. Yeah, real world contact with prospects is the best thing in the world in terms of learning. So that's awesome.
I even gave him a price and a selling offer, and even though he said no, we just kept talking and we kept sharing our experiences. So I'm more comfortable with selling directly. It's given me more a sense of my value and what I can provide.
That's awesome, man. That's great to hear.
My question. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. Is there anything I could help you with? Questions like
my question is, so what is the point of taking action? Because I hear in Britain in the 60s, when there was the factory workers, they would work like 16 hours a day in these rough conditions, and there a lot of people are just miserable. Like they're taking action all day, like 16 hours, but they're just not satisfied with their life. They're getting by, but they're taking action, which is what we should do, but things just weren't working out,
Cool philosophical question. I like it. I would make the argument that what they were missing was a sense of agency. I think people naturally like to take action, and they like to work, and they like to feel productive, and they like to feel like they're contributing. But I feel like most people working in factories, probably particularly in that time period, although maybe this is probably still true today in many factories, is that they don't have a sense of agency over their lives. So they feel like there was some, back in that day, in that, in that era, probably some pretty gnarly boss that was working them to the bone for very little pay. And and probably not a lot of options. And anytime I think a human being feels that they've lost agency, the things that would feel good don't feel good anymore. Like I'll work 16 hours a day because I believe in what I'm doing and I feel like there's payoff to it for my hard work and all of that. But if I didn't believe that and you dropped me into a factory and said, Mike, repeat this process all day, every day for 16 hours a day for low pay, I would last like 2 days. I mean, I would be miserable. So I think that that's the thing that was missing. And I think, Dawson, is actually one of the most important themes that needs to be discussed today, because I think a lot of people are fearful of AI. And I think that that's absolutely warranted in many cases, because there's a lot of jobs that have been done by human beings that are not going to have to be done by human beings anymore very soon. And there can be this loss of sense of purpose, because our purpose historically, at least in modern times, has been so tied to jobs and tied to careers and how much money we make and all that, that I think it could be a very alarming experience. And I think agency is the answer to that. Being able to decide that you are in control, that you're going to make decisions, that you're going to give yourself purpose, that you're going to take action on the things that are important to you in the face of all of these changes, I think is the way that you get back a sense of
agency.
Yeah, a sense of agency, but a sense of purpose, and that there's reward in what you're doing. So that's my 2 cents.
I like taking action because I don't have to think. Like I could like, take action and then like turn my brain off and then work insurmountable amount of time.
Yeah.
And then then I start liking it. And then I get that optimism because a few days ago I was in a Model Y Tesla, but it was like in the warehouse. So I was like in a warehouse with the car. And then I seen a Tesla robot, like I seen an actual robot from Tesla. I was like, whoa, cool.
Yeah.
And had that kind of excitement that was there along with it. So I could kind of like see it from both ways.
Yeah. That's cool. I think right now, like what I said before earlier on my rant, I think that there's never been a better time to be able to take action on your ideas. Like you leveraging AI gives you like this just crazy turbo boost to be able to bring ideas to life. And so if you are using that agency and you are generating your own ideas and you are proactively using the tools to bring those ideas to life, it is a very rewarding, fun time. And so I think that that's what people need to do. I think that everybody needs to start thinking more like an entrepreneur. I think that that's going to be challenging for a lot of people because that's not the way a lot of people think. But I think if you are one of those people, it's the coolest time ever.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And the second part would be, I'm darn lucky I'm not working in a factory for 16 hours a day, and I give my hat off to people who do. But maybe like my mind is like a factory, and then I'm just like moving things through the conveyor belt. So that way, like I'm the manager of my mind factory, and then I can make the ideas and solve problems.
Yeah, absolutely. We've started talking about it more like there is a composer and a conductor or an orchestrator or whatever it is. You have the composer that would come up with the ideas for the music and create this beautiful thing. And the conductor is, okay, I'm going to help all the people who are playing the music stay on track and follow that beautiful creation. You want to play some of both of those roles right now, right? You want to give your brain enough time, like you said, to come up with cool ideas and things to experiment with and all that. And then you want to be that conductor who is saying, okay, I've got all these resources available to me now. How do I use them to bring this stuff to life, test different things, keep that factory of ideas and outputs, going? That's cool, man.
Next week, I'll have my factory. I'll produce a symphony for you, and I'll show you the symphony next week.
I love it, man. That's awesome.
Have a good one, Mike. Good talk.
Thanks. You too, bud. Talk to you soon. All right, let's see. Carlos says, when you display pricing publicly, do you show the setup fee alongside the monthly, or do you lead with monthly and introduce setup later? And what's the reasoning behind that decision from a growth perspective? So let me show you. Like HubSpot, I think is a great example, because HubSpot publicly shows some startup pricing, some onboarding pricing in their right publicly on their website. So let me just share that real quick, because I think you can do it. You can do it in a number of different ways, and I don't think there's a right or wrong. Again, my philosophy is always that a customer that has more information is a better customer. That's my opinion. I don't like to wait until the last minute to try and surprise somebody with something. Like I just think that just makes for a longer, more expensive, and oftentimes just ineffective sales process. So you can see down here, let me just make sure. Okay, please see our pricing page. Okay, so here they've got all these different packages, as you can see, where they put the prices right up here. They still leave room for flexibility, right? Starts at $800 a month, starts at $3,600 a month. So just by using that language, you can give yourself some flexibility to say, well, hey, that's where it starts. There is a pricing range depending on your specific scenario, and we have the right to, have a price that's based on your specifics. But then you go down here, cost shown does not include the required one-time professional onboarding fee of $3,300. And then right here, you can see it doesn't include the one-time required onboarding fee of $7,000. So they tell you right there up front that you've got a upfront fee coming your way. And then if you want to know more about what that is, you click here to press learn more, and it takes you to, let me share this tab, takes you to this where it tells you, hey, here's what our onboarding is all about and why we did this. And it's really, really, really smart, because I've shared this many times in the past in some of my training videos, but HubSpot figured out that the more that they clarified these charges up front, and the more that they actually charge people for that professional onboarding, the better, more mature customers they got, the more success they had in the onboarding process, and the more commitment from the customer that they got in the onboarding process, because the customer's paying for it now. Versus when they don't pay for it and you're trying to get them onboarded, they don't show up for the meetings, they skip stuff, they delay things, right? So HubSpot found that when they started charging for all of this up front, their customer quality went way up, their onboarding success went way up, and their retention went way up. And so their business became much, much more profitable. So I am a big believer, again, in being as transparent about all of this as you can and explaining why. Explaining why. And this is a perfect response. Your priorities are our priorities. Okay. We want to make sure that you're actually getting what you need to get from the stinking investment that you're making, and that we get you up and running quickly and successfully, and your employees are trained and they're committed and they're on board and all of that, because everybody has been through one of those experiences where they're trying to bring on a new initiative or new software or whatever, and it's not organized, and the team isn't bought in, and now you get a third of the employees are actually using it and 2/3 aren't, and people are grumbling, and why did we even do this? And it feels just like a disaster. HubSpot says, hey, look, we don't want that to happen to you. And so we have made this a professional process with people delivering this, and that has to be as a cost that has to be covered. So here's how much it costs. That's mature business. Okay, that is mature business. And if you run across somebody that says, well, that's just BS, I'm not going to pay for that, then you know you've got an immature customer, an immature prospect, and that's a great opportunity to walk away from that prospect, because they're going to be the ones that are bothering you on every payment for the rest of eternity. So I'm a big fan of that approach. And what's the reasoning behind that decision from a growth perspective? As I said, HubSpot found that their retention went way up, their profitability went way up, because the success of the onboarding went way up, and they were now getting a nice chunk of money up front to help them cover some of this costs, which previously they had really been doing that for free to a large extent, right? Because customers have to be onboarded. If you're not charging them for an onboarding fee and you're not professionalizing that process, you're just swallowing those costs. Versus when you pull it out and make it a professional process and say, here's what it is, here's what the objectives are, here's what the process is, here's how much it costs, here's why we're doing it. It feels better to the customer, it's more organized by you, and you're getting money for it to cover those costs that are there. So from a growth perspective, it helps in every way except, and this is what you have to be comfortable with, is are there prospects that see that on their website and go, oh, no way, that's total BS, I'm not paying that. And then they go to whatever competitor that is, just offering something just based on price. Yeah, there are those businesses that are going to do that, and you have to be okay with that. Those are not your customers. Not everybody is a good fit for your services. Not everybody will pay or wants to pay extra money for some professionalism and some hand-holding, right? Many small businesses are just like, heck no, I just want the cheapest thing. Walk away from those prospects with confidence, because your profitability will soar when you learn to only work with the customers that are mature enough and have the money enough to invest, right? And I hear, oh my gosh, you guys, I don't know how many times a month I hear from somebody saying, well, small businesses will never pay that much for an onboarding fee. You can't charge a small business $3,000 for an onboarding fee. Freaking HubSpot, industry leader, multi-billions of dollar, company, right? They've got it right there for you to see. You absolutely can sell that. If you can't sell that, there's one of two things. Either you're not good at sales and justifying the value and the value proposition, and so that's something you need to work on, or you're talking to the wrong prospects, you're not qualifying enough, and walking away from a prospect that isn't a good fit. But to say that those businesses can't afford $1,500, $2,000, $2,500, $3,000, $5,000, there are plenty of businesses that can afford that and will pay that. Okay. And I give you in my training 3 different ways to present pricing so that if a business truly is choking on that upfront fee, you still have a way to get that upfront fee in a different way by presenting different financing options and things like that to still land that customer. Okay. So you've got multiple strategies and approaches to help you with that. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. Boat rental things. That's cool. Thank you very much. Love it. Glad to have you a part of the community and look forward to working with you. People don't value things that don't have value. That's right. They typically don't value things that they don't pay for. If you were building a freemium entry point for a service like ours, what would you make free without hurting positioning or attracting low quality clients? Free websites, Carlos. We have already talked about it on this call because I love free websites, and it does not hurt positioning or attract low quality clients because you are still going to be charging them. You're going to be charging them for your premium hosting and integration of the capabilities of HighLevel. So they're still going to be paying, depending on what pricing approach you want to take, somewhere probably between $75 and $97 a month with you. It's a very, very attractive, affordable offer. And your positioning is, we provide growth marketing systems and services to small businesses. Websites are an incredibly important part of that. And we are offering this as a special offer to a limited number of businesses each month because it's a great way for us to introduce ourselves and our capabilities. And it's a great way to get happy customers. And because it's such a generous offer, it speeds up our sales cycle. Like, just literally tell them. And so now people look at your offer and go, well, these aren't just people giving away freebie gimmicks. That's smart marketing, right? That's smart marketing. Now they respect you for what you're doing, right? And by the way, Carlos, you don't have to work with everybody that raises their hand and says, yeah, I want a free website. Some of those people are going to be freebie seeking, tire kicking, no money having, right? You can say, hey, I don't think this is a great fit for you. We appreciate the opportunity, but we're going to pass. You don't have to take them on as a customer. Okay. Awesome, Carlos. Good. I'm glad to. I'm just going to say this real quick since we are almost at the hour. If you are in our prospecting challenge, that's about to kick off here at noon Pacific time. That's just 1 minute from now. So if you are in our prospecting challenge with David Metzel, jump off and go get on that call. You don't want to miss that. You are probably aware that we decided we're going to accelerate the sessions on that. We want to get you to the point of having your system set up and out the door quicker. So we're now doing 2 sessions a week on that. So we're going to get that done pretty darn quickly, or just over the next couple of weeks. So if you are in there, make sure and jump over to that call. Otherwise, I'm going to answer whatever remaining questions are here, and then we'll let you get back to your Friday. So if you have any other questions, please go ahead and type them in and let me know. Man, I've been saying for the last 6 months, I'm more excited than ever for the agency opportunity working with small businesses. And I feel like that got like a 75% boost just in the last few weeks. I am more excited than ever by far about the opportunity to work with small businesses to help them, as well as the importance of doing this. It is going to be incredibly important over the next few years that somebody is jumping in and providing this leadership and providing these services for these businesses in the local communities. It's going to be very important. So I hope that you feel that same way and that you, like I said, just jump in with both feet and go for it. Okay. Any other questions? Let me know. Otherwise, we will let you get back to your Friday. I appreciate, as always, you guys being here, being a part of the call, and being a part of the community. Let's see there. Hey, is this Gary? Does HubSpot offer a website or just the back end stuff? Hey, this is Gary. Hi, Gary. Does HubSpot offer the website or just the back end stuff? HubSpot, no, you can build websites with HubSpot as well. Yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff with HubSpot. I mean, it's a very robust platform at this point. It's been around a long time, so it's got all kinds of capabilities. But I would say it does not have the model of HighLevel and the economics of HighLevel for the agency. And I think that HighLevel is going to crush HubSpot. I think that the HighLevel community is going to crush HubSpot. HubSpot relies on premium pricing and relies on a partner community that does much more like old school consultative work to install HubSpot and charges, hundreds of dollars an hour for their work and things like that. I just think that based on all my experience in this space, HighLevel has a dramatically better model for the agencies and a dramatically better model for the small businesses. And I know that the numbers support what I'm saying here, that HighLevel is flying past every competitor in the market, including HubSpot, in terms of the number of businesses they're serving. And that's why. And I expect that that's just going to continue to be the case here. Yeah, I think but HubSpot is a fantastic model to look at and compete against, improve upon, but look at, because it has been very successful. But there are real opportunities to just completely improve with your offer upon what their offer is, for sure. I know so many people who use HubSpot that are just like, oh, I'm spending all this money on it and it's frustrating. I can't get this or that, and I have to call this team to help me. And you can absolutely destroy them. University of Missouri is offering a professional certificate in digital marketing, and it seems like it's partly centered around HubSpot. Yeah, that's some old school stuff, man. I think that is an example of a university that is trying to cling to having some sort of meaning in a modern world, and they're in trouble. That's my opinion on that, Matt. Gotta go. Got some amazing prospects for saying, yes, do it. I love it. All right, everybody. It looks like we are out of questions. Thank you so much again for being here, being a part of my community, and being a customer, and taking some time out of your Friday simply to be here and share your questions and thoughts with me. I really appreciate it. Next Friday, I'm going to be in Costa Rica, but right now the plan is, I think, still same time. If that's not the case, we'll see you the following week, but I'm pretty sure it is. And we'll do a quick one from Costa Rica. Otherwise, you can reach us in our community and at help@servicesthatscale.com if you need something from our support team. We will be around and working and looking forward to helping you out. We have some fantastic things, by the way, coming your way. If you are a customer of ours in a high leverage agency, taking advantage of all this that we're talking about today, we have some really, really cool stuff coming your way. So look forward to that. That's all I'll say for now, but you're going to get some significant upgrades happening. Okay. First session. Awesome. Thank you so much. Fantastic. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your Friday. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.